Brother Al, how are you? I had to postpone it a little bit. I'll tell you why in a sec. How's the weather on Long Island now? Oh, really? That's pretty warm. Damn. Surprising. You're almost into November and it's almost 80 degrees. That's insane. That's probably warmer than it is here. That's beach weather, man. Are you still in Bohemia? I do get a lot of stuff from Japan. A lot of stuff from Japan. And you should go to the beach. You're not too far. You're close to the South Shore, right? If you're still in that Bohemia area. What was that town out there? You can go to Sayville, or you can go to West Hampton. That's probably the closest ocean. You can go to the North Shore where I used to be. You can go to Cedar Beach. Oh, you're in Oakdale. All right. Are you going to stay out there? Yeah, I guess you're going to stay on the island, huh? Jones Beach. Now, Jones Beach is far, though, right? Oakdale's in Suffolk, right? Damn, Banana Head's over already? So I was going to start this stream like an hour ago. More than an hour ago. And I thought, you know what? Let me watch. There's a Milestone auction going on right now. And it's right here. And this is live right now. But I said, you know, the lots that I like aren't going to come up for a long time. And I don't even know if they're going to come up during the time that I'll be doing this live stream. So I said, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea. There it is. I made my first successful bag of popcorn over here. The last 3 I tried, I burned to hell. I mean, it smoked up the whole place. I'm surprised the smoke alarm didn't go off. Burned them to crisp. And this one actually was okay. I used the popcorn sensor. Now I got popcorn stuck in my teeth. Oh, well. So, hey, you know, how's the background and the lighting and stuff? So today, I put, this is a Randy Rieger custom piece. I think I showed it before, but this is a complete art piece. It's huge. The box is like 3 feet tall. And I think I showed it before. That's this, I don't know, kind of like a Mercury. It's funny, like a trailer that was just on that auction. It's scrolling by. And there's a propane gun that goes with it. I haven't even taken that out yet, but I said for today I'm going to use that as a background because it takes up a huge amount of room back there. All that. And if what's his name, Knights of Old gets on here, I put another Jumbo Mashinder, that huge Devil Core villain, I think from the original 1973 series. I think he's called Taihu Buffalo. Taihu Buffalo. So your parents are in. You're in. Your parents are also in Bohemia. Yeah, is that where they are? Your folks are in Bohemia, and you're in Oakdale now. Is that why you stay on the island because of your folks? You should tell your folks. I'm sorry. I gotta get comfortable here. I got these pillows on my back for lumbar. I'm like too fidgety. Too fidgety. So anyway, let's see what we got going on today. Anyone else on here? Yeah, a few people. I'm still like getting the pop. Mm, mm, I need a toothpick. Oh, Al, sorry to hear that. I didn't know. I had this friggin' heart in my way here. When did that happen, Al? They were alive when I was there, right? If I'm not mistaken. Your parents were around when I was there, right? I mean, that was a long time ago. I'm trying to think of the last time I was at your place. You were working on a toy for me, and it's so funny. Like the well, I don't know if this was the last time I was at your place, but there was a time I was at your place. I was in tremendous pain, and I left. I was going up that route. Was it 83, which is exit like 63, and I stopped at a McDonald's to like use the restroom, and I freaking popped out like two kidney stones. It's unbelievable, huge ones. Um, those were the days. Crazy, man, crazy. Ah, that's terrible, terrible. Long Island, Long Island always had a high incident of cancer for some reason. Certain spots, and I don't know where they were, but that was always an issue out on the island in different areas. Also, Staten Island too, for some reason. You know, I remember there were stories that the mob dumped a lot of toxic crap out on Long Island before it got populated, so, and especially in Suffolk, even around Port Jeff. So I wonder if that was a contributing factor. Because that's the rumors, like the stories. Yeah, I'd bail, man. I don't know why you stay there. Bail, man. It's trafficky, and I don't know. I don't know. So, my only news thing, I found it funny. Did you guys hear that they found that shooter in Maine dead, right? And very peculiar, peculiar. A lot of people were predicting like, so this guy was skilled enough to go in, take out, I guess now 18 victims, didn't get caught, didn't get found, drove, he had like a dock, land, boat, like everything prepared to flee, and probably had some survival skills. And yet he ends up by a dumpster with, I don't know what, two bullet shots, two in the back of the head, one of those two. Knights of Old, how are you? Um, Knights of Old. One day we should do a live stream, and I just checked out your channel. You got a ton of good toys on there. Yeah, I was gonna. I kind of put him out here for you, but here is, and he's not that steady on his feet, so I'm gonna expand the picture. Taihu Buffalo, Devil Core. Bum, bum, bum. Now I do have his original balls. Not to get graphic. When I first won him, and I got him when I got Lensari. I thought, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of. And I almost got him because I wanted his balls, his balls, because he's not the only Mashinder of this era that shoots the balls, and none of my other ones have the original balls. And he had his like sealed balls, if you could believe it. And here's his, cannons, whatever that shoot the balls. So now that I got him, I think he's so freaking cool. So freaking cool. Look at that. Love him. Love him. Love him. So little by little, man, working on getting all of these original 73. I do have Big Lou in the box. Beautiful example of Big Lou. I got a reproduction and an original box for him. I keep him right when you walk into my main toy room here. He's got a reproduction box. This way, if people touch him, touch the box, I don't have to worry about it. And then I have the original box that was shipped to me a long time ago. I never even took it out of the packing. If the guy like shipped me a brick, I wouldn't even know it. So let me put the Taihu Buffalo back. Yeah, I love them. Absolutely love them. They're so cool. Make sure he's steady because he's a little wobbly. I don't I don't want him to fall over. If any of you guys see him like starting to teeter, you tell me. um, but Al, it's not the weapons, Al. It's not the assault. First of all, there's no such thing as assault weapons. That's a misnomer. I don't want to get political, but um, they're basically long guns and semi-auto. How could I best describe it? Because I used to shoot those at the range in Al. Where's that range where oh, what was the name? Calverton? I think it was Calverton. And they're fun. They're fun for target practice. I would do 50 yards, 100 yards. And if you got some psycho that wants to do damage, he can do damage with anything. He can pack, like 5 revolvers that I think you have like, 8 shot revolvers now. You pack 5 of those, you got 40 rounds. So there's a lot of things. Um, yeah, and as far as the boxes, because I have like 3 or 4. Yeah, the background check for sure, supposedly. But again, if the story is true on this guy in Maine, because I've seen the 2 pictures, the picture of the guy shooting and the picture of the guy that they got look a little different. I don't know. It's weird. It's like that when it happened in Vegas. A lot of holes in the story. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked by it. I just think it's funny. I think you need to dive into it a little more because it's always a little strange, a little strange what they concoct. But yeah, background checks for sure. I mean, supposedly this guy was committed for mental issues. So if that's the case, he shouldn't have had one. So if he got it illegally, there's nothing you can do. And look, criminals have them all the time. The strictest gun laws, as you know, Al, New York, Chicago, California, and that's where the vast majority of these shootings happen. Gang violence and all that, drugs. So anyway, as far as the jumbos, those 73, the early ones, the boxes, according to the Japanese, if you see the descriptions in some of the auction places like Mandarake, they'll tell you that those boxes weren't saved for the big jumbos. It was very unusual. Or they might use them to pack other stuff. So very tough to get the boxes. So out of the series 2, I think like series 1 was that Dublas, they came out around the same time. Then they had that more, I don't know, graphic box, if you want to call it that, series 2. I think I have 3 or 4 original boxes for them. And so I would have like 2 loose ones and like 3 or 4 of the original villains boxed. And Series 2 boxes all look the same, except for the end panel. That's where you could see what they are, whether it's Lansari, Garada, Taihu, and the rest. So, but they are very cool. That's my goal, is to get them completed first. and I missed out on a few other ones. I don't have the Godzilla. I don't have like the Cayman Rider. I don't have Mazingers. But again, I'm concentrating on the villains versus the first ones. They're the coolest, in my opinion. And Knights of Old probably knows. So, all right, Knights of Old, your dad was. Um, so Mazinger was the first. Was he the first like hero then? The villains came before him, I'm assuming, or did he come out at the same time, early 70s? I do. I have doubles that, sometimes I'll just give them to the auction companies, various ones. Depends on who gives me the best deal. I like when they'll come and pick up stuff. Sometimes they'll come out and pick up. Like, I got that Fishing Bears bank, right, that I posted, and then all of a sudden I realized I had bought a second one. I'm like, damn, now I have three of those freaking things. So I didn't even open the other one that I got from an auction company. I'm like, I think I'll send it back. You can resell it for me. So anyway, let's see what else we got going on. Bum, bum, bum. I want to talk about this as this auction you see here going on. I mean, we're like a lots away before I find something that I like. Um, I saw that South Park yesterday. The Panderverse. For you guys hear me rail about some of the crap that Disney does. The race and gender swaps on the characters, the feminization of all this stuff. So South Park had almost like an hour episode. It was 49 minutes. If you were to watch it with commercials, it'd probably be an hour. And there are so many YouTube, and I kind of go with the thumbnails, right? The thumbnails of their videos. I don't do thumbnails. I could, like those hyped thumbnails. Like, I'll give you an example. South Park destroys Kathleen Kennedy. South Park obliterates Disney. South Park crushes, and it's all these hyperbolic headlines, clickbaity, right? But I saw the episode, and I must be in the minority. I was really underwhelmed by that South Park. I had high hopes. So they railed on Kathleen Kennedy and Disney, but so and then Al, I'll get to your well, I'll say two things. First, I have to look at both of my Bear Magicians and figure out which one's the better of which, box and toy, and then I'll have to decide if I'm keeping both. I may end up selling one. If you want one out, maybe we'll talk. And as far as Halloween in Florida, it's like everywhere else. There's some people that put up a ton of decorations. I think the part with the kids is starting to wane, unless you're in a like a subdivision. There's some. You got to remember, Florida has a lot of older people, so um, the subdivisions are a little mixed. You might have, 40% families. 40% retirees, 20% other as an example. I'm just concocting, but it's probably accurate or close. And so you might have the kids go out, but I think the part with the kids has been on the decline for a long time. Even on Long Island, they used to do, when I was up in Miller Place, they would have the trick or treating at the schools. They would have some stuff at police stations. So um, where I am now, I have nobody. There's no sidewalks, and I'm on the ocean. And the houses they're pretty, spread apart. You're not going to have kids walking here. Most of the houses are behind gates anyway. Um, hmm. I will like. That's interesting, Knight. The Jimbo, the Great Mazinger Store display robots. So, did you see the Red Baron? Is that what it is? The Red Baron that's allegedly a display piece that I've had? Because that's when I got that out of Japan, it was allegedly like one of the bigger store displays. Yeah, as a matter of fact, now that you mention it, Josh did, Josh did show me this huge, I thought I was negotiating on one of those ones exactly like you're describing. It was a huge Mazinger store display, enormous. I don't know what happened to it though. I'll have to go back and revisit that. But anyway, thank you, Al, on the house. By the way, I appreciate that. Yeah, it is a pretty cool house. Um, so anyway, as far as that South Park, did anyone watch it? Yeah, I know my wife fell asleep when she were watching it. It was funny. Um, because I actually fell asleep too, and we watched it pretty early. So then I rewound it because I wanted to see it. So here's the thing. Um, the premise was kind of good, right? That they attacked all this woke crap, but um, the um, the execution to me lacked, I don't know, soul. It reminds me a little bit of the Simpsons. You know, the new Simpsons, they call it Zombie Simpsons. I thought it was very formulaic and almost kind of preachy. So when they transitioned to any scene with the female women of color that were like Stan, Kyle, Cartman, whatever, nobody cared. It wasn't. It, for instance, like with the woman that was Cartman. First of all, I don't get why they made them adults. You know, because I thought like, why didn't you just have them as kids? Because that was even kind of strange to me. Strange choice. So when the female Cartman was in the normal universe, like nobody really cared. Some people like, oh, it's weird. Oh, it's not a big deal. Um, so it was almost like the same response that you would get. They just pitched it right down the middle. Like some people care, some people don't. And if you're playing it in the middle, but you're trying to attack the pandering, you can't have it both ways. And the kids themselves were very unengaged or not engaged with the what was going on. They were kind of like tapping out. Um, Even when they were talking about the multiverse, they were tapping out. They're like, yeah, we don't like it. So I don't know. It was just to me a little bit lazy. Even the part of the adults addicted to tech, college being useful. It's like they threw in a lot of these tropes and almost too many different tangents. It watered it down. Um, I thought it was going to be like an episode where they actually had one cohesive adventure that these race and gender swap characters went on that maybe didn't make sense. Instead, they focused strictly on Disney and Kathleen Kennedy. And it was just, I don't know, it was a convoluted mess of a story to me. And some people loved it. They thought it was clever. Oh, they hit all the beats, they hit this, and, you know, they had all these member berries. But I thought they missed a golden opportunity. It was, again, poor execution. So, I mean, I would still watch it. I would give it like a 6.5 just because, you know, at least they address some of the things, but that's it. That's it. So yeah, that's my take. So the thing is, when I see these thumbnails about people reviewing it, I think to myself, man, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. It wasn't that great. I mean, people are like, it was brilliant. It was the best thing I ever seen. I'm like, nah, it wasn't. It wasn't even like among the better South Park. I mean, to me, when you get to these early animated shows, any of them like SpongeBob, South Park, Simpsons, um, Family Guy, the first like 5 6 seasons are always great, and then it just like declines regardless. And then they might have individual moments that are okay, but the rest not so much. All right, so that's my rant on that. Did I miss anything else? Yeah, yeah. Even the adults like Cartman's mom, like when they, oh no, Kyle's mom, when she saw the female Cartman, she's like, "Yeah, that's okay." You know, the whole thing was just like, come on. You know, instead of being shocked, like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Oh, well, that's fine." You know, like she didn't want to like cause a scene, I guess. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, I was told, like, I went on when it comes to that Red Baron, I was told that it was like exceptionally rare. It's pretty. It's not huge like the Mazinger. It's still pretty big. I don't know, maybe like yay big, the Red Baron. But it's a cool piece. And let's see the other villain. I'm trying to think of what I missed out on because at the Cayman Rider auction that Mondaraki had, I picked up a lot of Cayman Rider stuff, but what I didn't get was like the Cayman Rider jumbos. I think they had a couple there. And so I don't know like how Cayman Rider Jumbo fits into this. So I'm still researching and learning all that. Anyway, let me open something up that I thought was pretty cool. If this is it. Is this it? Hold up a sec. Yes, or this is the one. Well, I'm waiting to see if the auction gets to my stuff, which I don't know because they have a lot of lots. Remember last time we were talking about I wanted to bet on some of the Forbidden Planet stuff, and I didn't. But I do have this. It was heavy, so I was surprised. The packing looks pretty cool. So check this out in its own case. Freaking chair. I'm gonna have to. I feel like 007 opening is or Mission Impossible with a briefcase. So according to this, this is retro future Forbidden Planet's ray gun, and it has the instructions on loading the battery. Now I have two Forbidden Planet ray guns. However, I was told that this was from Osaka. So I don't know if Osaka Tintoy offered this version or what the hell the deal is. So here's a laminated instruction sheet. As you can see here, you said I have a lot of battery toys that are advertising pieces. I've seen the 110 ones. I like those. You know what else is interesting about the 110-volt battery toys? They actually use those in arcade machines. Like you might have an arcade machine from the 50s that has like a monkey band in it that's 110 that was an actual battery toy. How freaking cool is this thing? A case. Like I feel like I'm going on my own adventure here, my own spy adventure. Wow, sweet. So here it is in its glory. That was the key that popped out. I'm not going to remove that for now. So here's your Forbidden Planet ray gun. Maybe I will remove it. Oh, damn. Look at that. Look at that. Morbius would be proud. Oh, I didn't even know they had the batteries in it. Wow, that's freaking cool. And look at that light element inside there. Don't mess with me. You think the battery's dying out a little bit? Wow, that's freaking awesome. Now, I'm going to have to check this because I've had things out of Japan that they've left the batteries in. And what do you think happens? Corrosion. I have another one of these guns. I don't know if it's the same one, like a Turner license thingamajig. So if they made the same mistake of leaving the battery in there, I'm going to have to check. And I got it like over a year ago. And this seems to use maybe like, oh, it uses button batteries, LR44 button batteries. You can see there. So I'm going to have to go through the hassle of, yeah, I know. Isn't it pretty cool? So having two, what would be not, and now the one that was at a Heritage Auction, from what I understand, the back of it was a reproduction piece. All of it was original except for the back. So for what it's worth, the case is spectacular though. So we'll lock this up, and I'm going to put it in front of the devil. I mean, not the devil. Yeah, the what's his name again? Devil Core Taihu Buffalo. Try to try to keep him from toppling over. So that was pretty cool. Now, when I get my full size Robbie, what I was saying is it'd be great if Robbie's rubber 2 finger hand can actually grip that gun. I don't think it could, but it would be nice to have him posing with that ray gun. Um, I don't. I think it was made in the '90s or early 2000s. If that's from Osaka, I think they only offer like 10 of them, but that's his Turner. So maybe Osaka was able to distribute a limited number of them. And it could have been through Ray Rohr also. Yeah, who knows? These things get muddled after a while. So another piece that did not get shown. This is no ordinary Astro Boy. I'm kind of rating the vaults of Japan, Osaka tin toys. I'm actually getting a lot from, I guess it's Nobu, right? Nobu's the president of Osaka. Ooh, no banging. How are we at? Look at this beaver lumber. I'm not going to make any. Uh, well, I'll strike that. I'm not going to make any comments at all. But let's see, 154. So the stuff I'm interested in is that's it's not going to come up for a while. Oof, there's some cool stuff here, but this Casper tank is actually pretty cool. But wow, there's a lot of lots to go through before we get to my stuff. I probably should have started this stream at like 3 in the afternoon when my stuff is on there. If I was going to live bid on this stream. Oh wow, we got a long ways to go. Um, so many cycles, so many freaking motorcycles. All right, so and I know Al, you're familiar with this. Jaguar. That's the one that was at Mondaraki's. Jaguar, and the other one, the who was the turtle? The turtle guy. Um, I should have bid on them, but that's when I got Lensari for 5.5 million yen, and those other ones went for like 4.5 million yen, and the other one was like 4.2. So you're talking adding on another 9 million yen, and I already dropped the 5.5 on Lensari. But you know what? I I don't I don't know anyone that has Lensari. Knights, do you know anyone that has that Lensari? I haven't seen it anywhere. I've looked online. But as far as this auction, like my stuff doesn't really come up to lot 487. So yeah, Bazooka. Those two were cool, but at the time I was like, yeah, I coulda, woulda, shoulda, but I didn't. I was too focused on getting these villains from, I guess, series two. So I managed to pick up a lot of prototypes. And this is one of the hand painted prototypes. Let me get this expanded a little larger here. Yeah. And I believe this is one of the hand painted prototypes that led to, was it Billiken that made some of these windups? You could read right here. It's a prototype 2. I think it's a short leg. Let me try to. Yeah, so this is, I guess you call this like the late model 90s prototypes. At first, I kind of was a little reluctant to mess with the later, model stuff, but then I said, why not? Why not? A prototype is a prototype. You don't have an opportunity to really come across them. They're all kind of one of a kind. You can even see some little, a guy must have like did a little oopsie with his paintbrush. It's actually pretty cool though. I'm assuming it was Billiken. Put him here. And let me shrink this so you don't have to see my hideous mug that big. I don't want to scare you guys. Yeah, so the prototypes are one of one. They hand painted that, and that was kind of like them saying, hey, this is what we want the finished product to look like. And that's what they based the lithography on. So it's one of one, and usually the factories won't let them out unless there's a reason for it. So let's see what else we have here. I wonder if they ever made prototype of the jumbos. Now this is, how do I describe it? I believe this is one of their concepts. I don't know if this was actually released. You can see that there. What does that say? Well, I can't read kanji, so yeah, the series two boxes were the same, except for the end panels. That's the only distinction, right? The end panels are the ones that give it away. So I'm trying to think of what the story was from this. Again, this came from the, I guess you'd call it the Osaka Museum or whatever, but these are like concepts that probably weren't made. So I think I have several of these. You can see he's a bit taller. The other one is a short leg version. And last but not least, I have to go back and read through the email and find out what the actual story is with these. You get so much stuff, you kind of lose sight. So I guess you would say Osaka. This is, again, I don't know if this is a concept, if these were actually available. Oh, okay. So this is the hand painted prototype, and the other one is the finished product, if you could believe it. So you could see here, I could see the brush strokes on the legs. See if I can get it a little closer. Yep, they were very expensive. That is very accurate to say they were very expensive. But I buy in a bulk bulk package. So I make package deals. They all came together, including that gun. You know what? Let me take them out and let's see if we can compare the. Let's compare the. Ooh, this is heavy, heavy, heavy. Okay, so right off the bat, the prototype is shorter. I did it on the. So he's a short leg. I don't want to mess up this box. Yeah. Wow, is he heavy? Holy moly. I'm pulling up his pants, not to be creepy, but just to show you the difference in the hand painted versus the final production. Feet are smaller. Let's put the feet side by side. It's almost better to see him over here. You see the height difference there, sort of, right? I'm trying to see if there's any difference on the heads. The eyes are hand painted themselves, but the heads look fairly similar. The clothes look similar. But yeah, so that's it. That's your prototype and your finished production version. And I guess they decided that Ancient Mariner auctions. How are you? Let's see. These Astros are sick. Favorite is the Bandai release with stern, judgmental expression. Well, I would agree. I like them when they're not. They're less comical. Oh, and this is telling you prototype number two. So here we have all three together. That's all three of your prototypes: short leg, and finished production version. He's got different feet, and this one, for some reason, weighs an absolute ton. Much lighter. I'd have to look. Could be that he has more brass components in him because they do use brass in the prototypes, but I mean, like he is significantly heavier. I'd have to really kind of take this apart, but I don't really want to mess with it. Don't want to mess with the clothes. I'll just show you some of the hand painting under here. Really nice heft. I like when they're heavy. So let's put them up here on the case. It'd be stable. As long as Taihu Buffalo doesn't fall over and knock everything to hell. They stabilize the case. Put this box here. Get some of this crap out of the way. Now, what is in this thing? I hope this isn't another gun. I hope this is not another friggin' Forbidden Planet gun, because then I would have three. You know what? It looks it looks like it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why the hell would I have gotten three guns? There's got to be a reason. Oh, maybe it's something else. Oh wow. Oh, I see what this is. I see what it is. Now this is pretty cool. I'm assuming it's empty, so before I no, it's not. Give me a sec here. Very cool. So what this is a clear display case for the Forbidden Planet blaster, and it has inside here basically the brackets you could set up to hold the gun. And you can see it has the tag from, what do they call it? Retro Future Forbidden Planet, Turner Entertainment. Okay, so it does, right after Turner Entertainment, if you could see that, let me try to get it bigger. What it says is OTTI, which is, let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on, damn it, focus. Anyway, somewhere along there, I know it's going to be hard to see. So under Forbidden Planet, it says Turner Entertainment, OTTI, which is Osaka Tintoy Institute, made in Japan. So these were made in freaking Japan. And this is the sister clear acrylic case. That is freaking awesome. Awesome. This might actually be what I display back there kind of permanently behind, um, when I get Taihu Buffalo back in his case. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Let me shrink my ugly mug again. Let's see here. For a minute, I thought, what, did I get two guns? That wouldn't make much sense, but get a sip here. Are you ready to? Well, I'll show you one other cool thing. Actually, I have two things, but so this just came out of France. Well, hold on, I got to move all this packing stuff, or my chair won't be able to roll, and my lumbar pillows still. It's the problem. I make a mess everywhere. So this is. I already have one, but it might be an upgrade. This is an original box for the missile robot, the Alps missile robot, which is the rarest in the series by far. And it may be just a little bit nicer. I've never been able to find like a really minty box for the missile robot. They all have like some kind of fading and washed out colors. I mean, to the point where I just expected that every missile box was made in a way that was flawed, and it caused the colors to wash out, almost like a faded watercolor. So this one looks like it might be better. So I'll have to compare it. And Knights of Old, thank you. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you coming on. No problem. And like I said, one day maybe we'll do a stream together. Kind of get on and show toys. That'd be cool. We'll talk about the jumbos. I have to educate myself. You could be the teacher though, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, man. So let's see. I had one other really cool toy. Actually, I had a couple. Let me see here. Hold on. Whoa. Oh, I didn't open these last time, so I want to actually get to this. I showed the boxes through the bubble wrap. Gotta get this crap out of my way. Damn. All right. Too much, too much movement on this street. I believe. Speaking of Adam toys, nice. Hold up. I'm trying to get this out without damaging it. It's another Adam, mighty Adam. Here is a mighty Adam with remote. I thought I had this, but guess I didn't. I guess I didn't. I'm gonna have to look in the Adam case. I think I have more Adam toys than anybody. Definitely more Adam tins. I could have sworn I had this. So I either have an upgrade, maybe an upgrade, or we'll find out after the stream. I will go look. It's a pain when they tape the bubble wrap. I think it's is this the Bandai, if I'm not mistaken? SSK. This is like an Adam Bonanza. And you know what? I'm gonna. Might as well break out the box for it. All right, here is the original box. Let's get this. Yep. So it's the Bandai Walker with remote. Mm, pretty minty. Pretty minty. And I guess I didn't have this, which is awesome because now I do. Well, listen, he kind of remember the story with the mighty Atom. He was abandoned by his father creator. So he's got a lot of reasons to be upset. And he might be fighting some villains. Who knows? Who the hell knows what his reason is? This one has the cool Mushi Productions sticker. Nice box. Nice box. I am almost positive that I don't have this. I hope not. Because, well, if I have two, I have two. One of them will go eventually. And it's a shame that the Bandai sticker on this remote is kind of worn out. But yeah, once again, take a look. And I'm surprised they didn't put a Bandai logo on this anywhere. You would have figured on the back, maybe on the leg. They didn't. But again, he's heavy. He's heavy like that prototype, and probably because he's got a motor in there. Um, yeah, he certainly is displeased. So I am going to assume that I was missing him. So him up here, and put this box here. And you know what? I might as well open up the last of the toys that I had last time. Finally, a non-Atom toy. He was a nice example. There's a guy in England that had a collection of Atoms. He's selling them for $23,000. It's multiple Atom toys. And I believe the one that I didn't have was that Bandai Walker. So if that's the case, or that was the one that he might have had a Atom Swimmer that I don't really care if I have or not. But other than that, the highlight would have been that Bandai Walker. So now I just don't really care. Oh, Ancient Mariner auctions. So maybe that's your that's not your stuff, is it? Because if it is, it's nice stuff. No, I know. I think I bought some stuff if you're in the UK. And let's see. Now here we have Big X Walker. Got a lot of these walkers. I have two rare character walkers that are so freaking rare. I haven't shown anybody. Well, a couple people. Obviously, people that come tour the museum, they see them. They cost a boatload of money, and they are rarer than like Machine Man Robot. Um, Probably as rare as some of these jumbos. And I don't know if I'm ever gonna. It's kind of like I consider them, museum exclusives, but they are. If you're into the Bandai character walkers, it's almost like you got to have these in your collection. And the guy I got them from, I think, was collecting 40 years. I don't know where the hell he got them. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I did get the Moon Doctors. They're great too, by the way. So here's again Big X, and this is also the Bandai Walker. So nice box. Big X, the NAZI hunting Japanese superhero. Let's stick him over here for now. Put that box there. Yeah, I like your auctions. I think I've gotten over the years. I've gotten other stuff from you. Definitely. Yeah, so the other guy in the UK, he's got a nice collection of Atom stuff, but like I said, I had most of them, and I believe the key piece was that Bandai Walker. Unless they made a wind-up version, and maybe his was wind-up, I don't think so. I'd have to double check. Um, so other than these two other mystery Bandai Walkers that I have, oh, actually not Bandai, ATD. I'm sorry, one's a Bandai, one's ATD. So um, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. And then I showed this last time, but I didn't take it out of the box. This is one last prototype. Now, some people like don't feel that these are prototypes because they're late model, but I think this is a genuine prototype in the sense that they actually did produce this toy. So this is the prototype. What do they call them? The driver robots. I don't believe this one's actually working, but it does have late model takes two double A's. I don't know if it has a motor in here. You can see it's stamped on the foot. Well, not stamped, but prototype. What do they call this? So I'm going to put batteries in it just to double check. Is it a true prototype? Yeah, I would say this is because they made a ton of these driver robots. They made the Tetsugen version. Too bad I didn't have this as in a Tetsugen. That would have been actually fantastic. But now, again, this is part of like when I'm buying stuff out of Japan, especially if I'm dealing with like stuff from Osaka Tentoi Direct. It behooves me to just buy everything that they're offering, because if you start like trying to nickel and dime and say, well, I'm going to cherry pick this one and not that one, that's when you really, you know, run into problems with negotiating. So from my perspective, I'm more like, give me them all, like let's just make one fair package price because, look, at the end of the day, if I don't like something, I could always, I'll sell it because there's a ton of people that collect these late model prototypes, for instance. But 9 out of 10 times I like them, usually like them all. So now I've never opened up my Forbidden Planet blaster, so I have absolutely no idea what the one I got looks like. I'm assuming that I'll like this one better, but they could be the exact same thing for all I know. Um, and that's it as far as revealing stuff. Anything else that's on anybody's mind? Because I'm running up to an hour, and unfortunately, how far do I have to go before anything interesting comes up on this? Yeah, we're like, I may come back on because unfortunately, we're like 300 lots away from from me actually bidding on anything here. 300 lots, and you don't want to hear me ramble on for like let's see, 300 lots is, if we take even 30 seconds per lot, that's 150 minutes, that's 2.5 hours. So I don't think I could be that entertaining. However, it's possible I'll come back on live after I clean this mess up here, put all this crap behind me away, and we get to these later lot numbers, which started like around 480, let's say. And then we'll see if I win some of this stuff live, which would be kind of fun to see and how expensive it would be. But in the meantime, I think that covers everything I was going to reveal and talk about today. I'll just double check my little list. So, unless there's anything anyone has on their mind that they want to discuss, I'll probably wrap it up for part one of today, and then maybe I'll jump back on maybe like 4:30 ish, 4:30 Eastern USA time. Ancient Mariner, by the way, what time is it where you're at? Curious, the time zone difference. Hmm. All right. Well, while we're waiting through the answer for that question, oh, 6:30 p.m. All right. So if I hop on in like 3 hours, it'll be 9:30. Um, Several items here. Probably, see, if I say it, unfortunately, I always have that fear that I'm going to be run up. But I could tell you, for instance, like this ice cream cycle here, this one, the battery operated ice cream vendor. Um, it's no secret there's a bunch of people bidding on the blue honeymoon cycle here, which is already up to $8,200. Da, 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 da. Now, this Jimmy scooter, I'm not going to bid on it. I have the rare one with the Tetsugen, but for anyone that is paying attention, this is the Tetsugen, like the Jimmy Sparks scooter. This is really cheap, and this is rare. I actually don't have this plain one. Um, so that would be a steal for somebody. If you can pick this up in the hundreds, man, I see that going for thousands, thousands and thousands. Now, it'd be great to have it in the box. Anything else that's on here? That's pretty much my stuff. That none of the. I don't think any of the robot stuff. I'm going to go back to page 6. Probably this. You can see I'm winning this television truck. I don't think I have this. I mean, they come up from time to time. Uh, this RAI car, just because I'm Italian and RAI is like the channel my parents watch, the Italian channel. I have a version of this car. As you can see, they made several versions. I actually never seen it in blue. Maybe I'll throw a bit on that, but it's big. I don't even display these. They're just sitting in boxes, which I hate to do, but I do it from time to time, and that's probably it. I think he's got some robot stuff. Let's go down and see. Go to the next page. None of the cars. I have that Ford Giron car. These two, the condition is not up to snuff. I have multiple of these space VWs. I have a Atom Jet, although this seems pretty cheap. I'd have to check. I think I have this in the box, so I have to double check that. This probably the cycle I'll bid on, which I actually am bidding on. The Space Patrol cycle here, this one right here. I mean, it's to me, it's a minor toy. I don't really care either way if I get it or not. Robot wise, there's nothing. I probably have them all. And that's really about it. Oh, and this Beatles car, it's not working, so I threw a bid on there. I'd rather have that mint in the box. I think it has a little record, that one of those little vinyl records in there. So I don't know. That was kind of an impulse bid, just a kind of an opening bid. I'm not sure that I would go particularly high on that. I'd like to have one working. I actually passed. There was one on eBay, and I think it was a cheap buy it now, like the Tom and Jerry version of that car from Rico. Um, this is the Los Yes Yes. They didn't want to call it the Beatles for copyright reasons. If I bought this and it doesn't work and it's unfixable, if the little record in there is broken, I'd probably give it to my son, who's a huge Beatles fan. He'd probably get a kick out of having that and just display it somewhere in his house next to all his guitars. And that's pretty much it. So, anyway, all right, my friends, with that, as always, I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining me. And if I decide to do this again later today, it'll be right around, I'm guessing, probably 2.5 hours from now. So with that, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, my friends. And yeah, good luck with it. Yeah, and Ancient, if you're going for that stuff, good luck. And everyone else that join me, Al, and the rest of you that are anonymous, thank you. And I, my friends, will talk to you later.